Hello and welcome. My name is Brandi Joan. You can find me at Brandi Joan across all platforms, and today I'm going to be showing you how to sew up my new McCall's pattern, number M8007. So the first thing you want to do is check the back of the packet. It's going to give you your size guide and tell you all of the options for the pattern. Today we're sewing option B. First things first, we're going to sew the upper side front to the upper back at the shoulders and side seams using your serger or a narrow zigzag stitch and a 1/2 inch seam allowance. Then you want to bring over your upper front and attach it to the upper side front. Pin them together at the side front edge, matching all of the dots and the notches using a 1/2 inch seam allowance. Sew that in place. Then you're going to repeat that process 3 more times until you have 4 of those sections total. Once you've sewn all 4 together, you want to take 2 of them and place them right sides together, matching up all of the seams and the notches. Once you have them pinned in place, you're going to sew along that edge. Once you have those sewn together, you want to understitch towards the lining, trim the excess seam allowance, and then repeat those steps with the remaining 2 pieces. Now bring your sleeves over and narrow hem the bottom. If you have trouble narrow hemming because it is a knit fabric, you can just fold it up in whatever way works for you. It's really not that important to do a narrow hem. Once you've hemmed your sleeves with the right sides together and the raw edges even, pin the sleeve to the armhole edge, matching the notches, dots, and placing the inner small dot at the shoulder seam and sew it in place. Once you've sewn the sleeve on, it should look something like this. Now bring your bias tape over and cut a piece that's the length of the remaining armhole edge between the large dots, plus 1.25 inches. Open out one edge of the tape, press it, and finish the edge of the tape with a zigzag stitch. Now open the tape and pin one side to the armhole edge. Once it's pinned in place, go ahead and sew it to the shirt, then fold the remaining bias tape over and complete it with a stitch in the ditch. Now bring your lower front and lower back over and sew them together at the side seams using a 5/8 seam allowance. It does say in the instructions to hem the shirt now, but I prefer to hem all of my pieces when everything else is done, so I'm saving that for last. Now we're going to attach the top pieces to the bottom, and we're going to start with the back pieces, and we're going to match them up with the notches that we have marked on the top of the lower back. So just line up those edges and then pin the rest of the way around and sew that in place using a 5/8 seam allowance. Now we're going to create a casing for the elastic by folding over the seam allowance and sewing it in place. Next, grab your elastic and thread it through the casing that you made with the seam by pulling it through to one end, stitching it in place, and then continuing to pull it out through the other and sewing it in place at the other end. And finally, the last step is to hem the bottom of the shirt by folding it up by 1/4 of an inch. I actually folded it by 1 inch because that's what I prefer, just letting you know, and you're done. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you love your new top, and if you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to like and subscribe, and consider giving me a follow at Brandi Joan.